What's going on, everybody? We're here back on Supercross 4 with the 450 shootout today. Really quick before I begin with my list, I just want to say that this is all in my opinion. I'm not stating any sort of facts here, but feel free to let me know in the comments down below what your list may look like. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. At number 6, we got the Kawasaki. That's right, I'm putting it in dead last. You're probably thinking, where's the Suzuki? Well, it's just better than this Kawasaki, man. Kawasaki, it's fucking garbage. I'm sure you can go fast on it if you get used to it and stuff, but the problems with the Kawasaki is that it's probably the slowest bike in the game. It could be quicker than the Suzuki, but I found myself struggling to hit the lines way more on this bike than the Suzuki. So yeah, Kawasaki is just lacking the power. It handles fine. The suspension on it's not very good, and in the Supercross games you really notice the suspension on the bikes. I find I just struggle to hit my rhythms on this bike. It's just you gotta focus a lot more when you're riding with it. It's not for me anyways, it's not ideal. If you care about the sound of the bike, it's the exact same again as it's been since like MXGP Pro or something, whatever it was, or Supercross 1, whatever the game was. But yeah, like it's not like I don't know, I guess it is kind of a horrible bike. For me anyways, it's the worst one in the game. So Kawasaki's at number 6. At number 5, I'm putting the Yamaha, boys. That's right, still no Suzuki yet. Unfortunately, I would have loved to put the Yamaha higher because I do like the bike. In all the milestone games, it seems to be one of my favorites. But in this game, it's just not quick enough. It doesn't have the power. It's arguably slower than the Kawasaki or Suzuki. It's right there with those two bikes, but yeah, it's just a slow bike. I struggle to hit those big lines. I find it's easy to be consistent with this bike though because it handles good. Suspension seems fine on it. Everything else, like the brakes in this game, I find all the bikes have the same sort of brakes. Haven't noticed anything different there. But yeah, this Yamaha, it could have gone higher, could have gone lower. I think from number 3 to number 1, those bikes can be swapped in any way. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about the Yamaha. Sounds the same as it has in Supercross 1. It looks good, handles fine, everything like that, but just doesn't have the power. All the bikes in this game seem to have the same sort of traction as well, so nothing really different there. But yeah, Yamaha is at number 5. That's right, at number 4, I'm putting the KTM. Still no Suzuki, guys, still no Suzuki. You're probably thinking I'm like stupid or high off my mind right now for putting the KTM this low. I can already hear it in the comments or in your minds. You're like, oh, the KTM, but it's the best bike. Shut the fuck up, it's not the best bike, and the reason why, obviously it's the fastest bike in the game, I would say. Between this and the Honda, they're pretty much the same. You can hit the big lines pretty easily, but this thing is by far the worst handling bike. It's so goddamn heavy. It's just, you struggle to hit those tight turns, especially on those long bendy tight type turns where you just lose your back end. It's just not very good, man. The suspension, worst suspension by far, and it's the worst handling bike, but it definitely makes up for it in the power. I wanted to put it lower, but I'm like, you know what, it can hit those big lines pretty easily because of the power, so I'll stick it right here. But I just do not enjoy this bike. I really wanted to put it like last, but I was like maybe second last, but then I decided right here is a good spot because you can go pretty quick on this bike pretty easily because of how fast it is with the power and all that, but I just don't like the way this thing handles or the suspension on it. I find when I'm trying to do that wheelie glitch thing in the rhythm sections or just riding regular, the bike just doesn't seem to bounce off the jumps as well. It seems just kind of like it doesn't soak up the jumps as well. So KTM, man, I'm sorry everybody, but it's at number 4, and yeah, I'm sorry. That's right, Suzuki, it's at number 3. I wanted to put it higher, but I'm like, you know what? Let's not be too biased here. I do like Suzuki in real life, but so I'm a little biased, but I do love this bike in the game. By far the best handling bike. Doesn't have a whole lot of power, but you can still hit those big lines. It just suits my style. Suspension's fantastic. You're going to see that right here, right now. I overjumped this little tabletop, whatever. And I still get the seat bounce over that. That's just because the Suzuki has fantastic suspension, amazing handling, but unfortunately doesn't have a crazy amount of power. That's why it's not at number 2 or at number 1, because the power is just what it's its downfall really. But yeah, you can still rip on this thing. It sounds horrible. It sounds the exact same since Supercross 1 again. But I love this bike. I don't care what anybody says. You're probably like, oh, you're fucking retarded. No, the fuck I'm not. This bike is amazing. I don't care what anyone you guys say. It's just a phenomenal bike. I'm not even doing this for the memes or whatever. I actually genuinely enjoy this bike. It suits my style. I'm not all about power. I'm more about handling and suspension on Supercross. And with a good setup, this bike feels great. So, yeah, Suzuki, it is in at number 3. That's right, at number 2 we got the Husqvarna. This bike could have easily gone number 1. Maybe even could, I don't think I would have put it back any further. It belongs at number 1 or number 2 in my opinion. This bike handles phenomenally. It has fantastic suspension, has a good amount of power, not the best. I don't think it's quicker than the Honda or the KTM, but definitely handles better than pretty much every bike before it except the Suzuki. Has tons of power. Suspension is the best that we've seen so far, probably. Maybe the Suzuki might have better suspension, but yeah, this bike, it's pretty easy to ride. It's a very stable bike. The back end's not going to kick out on you like crazy. Easy to rail these berms. It's very easy to be consistent on this bike, I find. The Husqvarna in the last couple games has been pretty much one of the best bikes. And it's the same thing again in here. I really enjoy this bike. I was tempted to put it at number 1, but I just couldn't give it more respect than the Honda. But yeah, not too much else I have to say about this bike. It's a great bike. Highly recommend it. I think everybody will agree with me on this. The Husqvarna should be this high up. It's not like with the Suzuki. I don't think anybody's gonna argue with me too much on the Husqvarna. It's a great bike, but yeah, Husqvarna at number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honda is at number 1. It takes the top spot. I feel like a lot of people are going to agree with me that the Honda belongs at number 1 or number 2. This bike pretty much is perfect. It has according to the stats, it has the same amount of power as the KTM, which I do agree with. They feel pretty much the exact same speed. But the Honda, the suspension and the handling is just top notch. You can go so slow out of a corner or overjump a rhythm section and still just hit it perfectly with ease throughout the rest of the section. The bike just flows, absorbs, jumps. It doesn't. You're not gonna make too much mistakes in this bike. Sorry. It's fantastic in the whoops. All the bikes are good in the whoops because the whoops aren't really tough in this game. But yeah, the Honda is just pretty much a perfect bike. There's nothing really wrong with it that I can notice. It's great in every single corner, flat corners, and with the bends, whatever. It goes over these dragon backs nice or whatever. But yeah, this bike, you're not gonna make too many mistakes on this. Like, you can launch so far with this thing in the rhythm sections. You can hit the big lines super easy on this bike because it handles great and it's got lots of power. I know I tried hitting the big lines on all the other bikes, and this one was by far the easiest because of how easily it handles and because of how good the thing just shoots you in the air and it shoots you far. So yeah, Honda, it's at number 1. So yeah. Alright everybody, there you have it. That's my list for the 450 Shootout and Supercross 4. Again, let me know what your opinions are in the comments below, what your list may look like. Let me know if you agree, disagree, whatever. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you put this list up again just so you can see it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.